What's up, guys? Coach Matt and YouGoProBaseball.com, and today we're talking about the 9 things you must not do. You got to avoid these when you're hitting off of the tee. First of all, I want to say thank you to Cage Pro Tees for sponsoring this video. The Cage Pro Tee is a pivot action tee that has the softest and most durable tee topper of all the pro style tees on the market. For more information on the Cage Pro Tee, click the link down below. Now, real quick, before we get into the 9 things you mustn't do while hitting off of the tee, first of all, why is the tee so important, right? The tee is such a great tool to work on your swing because we take out timing out of the equation, and timing is something very huge in hitting. And if we can eliminate that, we can focus on a lot more things that's happening with our swing, right? We can focus on our movement patterns. We can focus on what's happening in our swing, what it feels like. We can make quicker adjustments. So the tee is a very, very great tool. It's a great tool to use as a first progression as you're starting to do your hitting practice. You can throw in your headphones, listen to some music. You could do it by yourself. The tee is such a valuable tool to get your hitting right. With that being said, there are 9 things that I'm going to talk about in this video that you should not do when you're hitting off of the tee. So pay close attention. Number 1 is don't only hit off of the tee. As good as the tee is, we can't only take 100% of our practice swings off of the tee and then try to go in the game and hit a live pitcher throwing 90 miles an hour. It's just not gonna work, right? So as valuable as the tee is, make sure we're working different progressions, doing drills, front toss, live BP, live pitching, game pitching. Obviously, we gotta work everything, but the tee is such a great resource and such a valuable tool that it must be part of the full equation. Second thing you wanna avoid when hitting off of the tee is having the tee set up too deep, all right? We have to have proper tee placement. I see too many guys with this tee too far back, right? The tee will be right here on the plate and my feet are here. This ball right here is in the middle of my body. I'm hitting this ball way too deep in the zone. In fact, Coach Marlowe came on the channel last month and he had a great drill for working on hitting this ball out in front. And I want to show you a clip of that video real quick right now.
You should be able to hit this ball up the middle if you're within 3 baseballs of where the contact point is. Okay, now better hitters, major league hitters, they're making contact probably about 3 baseballs out front. Okay, most high school kids, okay, they're probably off the front foot.
The third thing you must avoid is being too repetitive on your placement, right? Don't just hit the tee straight out in front up the middle, right? We want to move it around. We want to hit all of the zones of the swing, right? So we're not just hitting belt high middle pitches right on the front of the plate, right? Because that's not the only pitch we get from pitchers in the game. We get pitches to all the zones, and you could work that with the tee, right? We could go low away. We could even do low a 6 spot because some umpires will give that call 2 balls off, right? Low away, low middle, low inside. Now, here's a tip. When you're moving the tee, right? You see where I just came straight across this way? We don't want to do that, right? If we're going to hit a ball out in front, it's going to be a little bit further out in front. If we're gonna hit a ball in the middle, it's gonna be a little bit closer this way. A ball outside, a little bit further back, right? Because if we're hitting out in front, our swing needs to get out there, right? So if I take this swing out here, boom, I can make good contact on that pitch. But if I take the same inside pitch on the same track and put it back here, now I'm getting jammed up. It's hard for me to get the barrel to that pitch, right? So we wanna move on a diagonal pattern from inside to middle to outside. So we got our low pitches, then we go outside middle. Maybe we hit that 6 spot outside. Maybe we hit middle. Maybe we hit inside middle. Then we hit a high tee inside. Then we hit a high tee middle. Then we hit a high tee outside. High tee 6 spot, right? So we're working all the zones in the swing so that we can work on all the pitches that we're gonna see when we're hitting off a real pitcher. So the 4th thing when hitting off the tee that you gotta avoid is don't rush, right? I see too many guys get up here, they take a swing, whack, grab a ball, put it back up, get back in here, whack. You know, within 6-7 seconds of each other, guess what? You're gonna get out of breath, your swing's gonna start to diminish. Make sure you're taking breaths, right? Take a deep breath, take a swing, grab a ball, take a deep breath, make sure you got a good stance, get up here, another deep breath, blow it out, get ready to hit, and then hit, right? A typical pitcher takes between 13 and 20 seconds in between pitches, so you should do the same. If you want to set up a timer, you could have a timer set up over there where it beeps every 13, 15, 20 seconds, whatever you're working on. Just make sure you're giving yourself enough time in between your swings so you can get your full breath and have a nice full swing without diminishing it over time and developing bad habits. The next thing you want to avoid when hitting off the tee is to not just be focused on hitting this ball off the tee, right? That's great to start when you warm up, you know, keep your eye on the ball. But as you get into it, I want you to start having some eye movement, right? We want to focus on the pitcher, or the fake pitcher, the ghost pitcher, if you will, up there. And we want to be looking at him, have a soft focus, imagine him starting his pitch, get into a hard focus, and then transfer our eyes down to the ball before we hit. We want to make it as real as possible, as game-like as possible, so that we're not just keeping our head here, because in the game, we are gonna have some head movement. We're looking at that pitcher down to the ball, right? We wanna make it very, very similar to what we're doing in the game, so that our swings are the same swings that we have in the game. The sixth thing you gotta avoid when you're hitting off of the tee is to get too handsy, right? I see too many guys just throwing their hands. We hear the coaches all the time, just throw your hands at the ball, create the backspin, right? And that's really easy to do off the tee because the ball's sitting there and we can get real handsy and just try to smack it and get some backspin and shoot it out there. But we don't wanna do that, right? We wanna make sure we're staying on plane with the ball. A good way to do this is to work on our body angle or our spine angle. Some people call it posture, okay? Coaches call it different things, but all that is setting an axis in our body to swing around. So if I tilt my chest over my toes, first of all, that puts me into an athletic position, right? So now I'm more balanced, I'm under control, I'm more powerful, right? Versus standing up tall like this. So get that body angle, that spine angle, and then we want to swing around that angle, that axis that we created, and make contact here, okay? We don't want to just get up here and start being real handsy and flipping the wrist at the ball and trying to shoot it out there, because in a game, that's going to be very tough to have success doing that, right? The seventh thing you want to avoid when you're hitting off of the tee is to get stuck in the same intent level, meaning I see a lot of guys who get up here and they're just kind of nice and easy the whole time, their whole tee session. That's great, you can start off that way, but we want to build our intent up. We want to build our energy up. We want to build our intensity up, right? We want to have game-like swings off of the tee as we do like in the game, right? Game-like. So as we get warmed up, after we got loose, we want to get in here and we want to be yakking off of this tee just like we would in the game. Have very similar swings in the game as we do off of the tee, okay? So increase that intensity, increase your intent. Intent is just what kind of intention you have when you're swinging at the ball. Are you just trying to throw the hands again? Are you just trying to be nice and easy? What are you trying to do? No, we're trying to work on our movement patterns, our mechanics, if you will, but we gotta do that by swinging game speed, right? If we're just going half speed, then we're working on half speed movements. We're working on half speed mechanics. We gotta work on game speed movements, game speed mechanics if we wanna get better in the game, and the tee can help us with that. And the eighth thing that you want to avoid when hitting off of the tee is bending over too much. And this is an old man trick, because if you're hitting off of the tee and you got to keep bending down and picking balls out of the bucket, you're tiring yourself out, right? I used to do that all the time when I was picking up balls for fungos, right? Get yourself one of these little caddies or stack two buckets up and down on each other so you don't have to bend down so much. We want to spend our energy hitting off of the tee and not bending over, grabbing balls way down at the bottom of the bucket, right? So use your energy correctly, get those balls up higher, so all you gotta do is grab it and put it on. Set it up close, right? This is probably even a little too far. I could even use this so that I know I'm not casting my swing out too far if I hit it, right? So get the ball set up close so you hit it, grab another one, boom, you're right here, you're not bending down too much, you're saving your energy so your swing doesn't diminish over time, and you're working on good swing mechanics off of the tee. And the last thing you must avoid when hitting off of the tee is to not take yourself too seriously, right? Baseball is fun. Let's have some fun when we're hitting off the tee, right? You don't have to take it so seriously. I see guys up here, and I don't know if they're doing it to put on a show for mom and dad or coach or whatever it is, but they get up here and they miss-hit a ball and they're like, oh man, oh God, I gotta fix it. Blah, blah, blah. Well, who cares? We're practicing, we're working on it. That's what we're doing. Have fun, right? If you miss-hit one, who cares? That's an opportunity to feel and pay attention to what happened so you can fix it. It's an opportunity to get better, right? Don't beat yourself up. Have fun up here. Like I said, put some music on. Throw some headphones in if you're working by yourself. Whatever it is, have fun out here. You're working on getting better. That should be a positive thing, right? Have fun when you're doing it. Don't let yourself get too serious about practicing baseball. Again, it's a sport. It's supposed to be fun. And if you're out here practicing, you're doing half the job. Most of these guys don't even get out there and practice. So if you're that guy that's out there taking extra swings off of the tee, I commend you. Keep up the good work. And thank you so much for watching this video. Leave a comment down below and let me know what videos you want to see in the future. what tee drills and tee work you do to get better this season. I'll talk to you guys down there in the comments, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell right next to it so you'll be notified next time I upload new videos. I got some good stuff coming, so check them out.